In this video, we will be sharing an incredible theory about the backstory of the city of Sprunki and how it went dark. This theory was posted by user Jimekabrown on Incrediwiki. It's really interesting, and let's thank Jimekabrown for his work. Sprunki, a vibrant town that once thrived under a constant sky of light and laughter, had a unique charm. The people were full of life, basking in the warmth of friendships and the close bonds that held the community together. Families gathered for joyful festivals, and the air was always thick with the sound of celebration. Among this joyous backdrop there lived Gray, a person who struggled to connect with the ebullience around him. Despite the happiness that enveloped Sprunki, Gray always felt somewhat disconnected, as though a part of him remained untouched by the town's infectious spirit. Write what you think about this theory, because if it is true, it means that the guys had a very difficult time, and share your theories in the comments. And now I will tell you some interesting facts about Incredibox Sprunki that you may not have known. Gray's life was one of quiet introspection. He observed but rarely participated. His muted demeanor made him stand out from his more lively peers, though few seemed to notice his solitude. It wasn't until Wenda came into his life that things began to shift. At first, Wenda was the exact opposite of what Gray wanted in a friend. She was bubbly, sometimes overbearing, and always seemed to find her way into his business. For someone like Gray, who valued his personal space, Wenda was an unwelcome intrusion, yet there was something about her relentless optimism that wore him down. Over time, what started as irritation slowly transformed into appreciation. Wenda had an uncanny ability to understand Gray without pushing him too hard, and as they spent more time together, she became the one person he could confide in, the sister he never had. Sprunki, however, was not destined to remain a beacon of happiness forever. The arrival of Black changed everything. He slipped into town quietly, blending in like a shadow, but Gray couldn't shake a feeling of unease. Others were oblivious, charmed even by Black's presence. He was charismatic and seemed to know just what to say to win over the townspeople. Yet Gray remained suspicious, his instincts telling him that Black was concealing something dangerous. Owakex, a once reclusive figure known for his keen intuition, was the only one who shared Gray's wariness. Owakex had seen something in Black's arrival, a darkness lurking beneath the surface. Though they tried to warn others, it was too late. The change came slowly at first, a strange tension hanging over the town, subtle shifts in the behavior of those around them. But soon, the transformation was undeniable. The bright, happy Sprunki turned into a nightmare, enveloped in a darkness that blotted out the sun. Red skies hung ominously overhead, casting eerie shadows on the once cheerful streets. The eyes of the townspeople, once full of life, now glowed with a malevolent intensity. Gray's worst fears were realized when the town erupted into chaos. Death and destruction became commonplace. In the midst of the devastation, Gray's heart broke when he discovered that Wenda, his closest friend and confidant, had not just survived the carnage, but had thrived in it. She had become something unrecognizable, a person who delighted in the misery and suffering that now consumed Sprunki. The Wenda he knew was gone, replaced by a cold and calculating psychopath. The depth of her transformation left him reeling. The betrayal was not just personal, it was as though everything he believed in had been turned inside out. With his world shattered, Gray fled, carrying with him the scars of what had transpired. In the wilderness beyond Sprunki, he met a group of survivors: Tunner, Funbot, Pinky, Jevin, and Brood. These were not just random people, but individuals who had each been touched by the horror that had engulfed their town. Tunner and Pinky bore physical wounds, having barely escaped the murderous rampage led by Wenda and Brood. Funbot, Jevin, and the others were determined to survive, but they were also focused on one thing: finding out what had caused the destruction of their home. Together, the group formed a fragile alliance, each member driven by a different motivation. Some sought revenge, others, like Gray, were simply trying to understand what had happened. As they pieced together the fragments of the past, a chilling realization began to emerge. Black's arrival had not been coincidental. He had brought with him a darkness, a curse, that had fed off the happiness of Sprunki, twisting it into something monstrous. Yet the full scope of his plan was still unknown. Why had Wenda, once so kind and good, been so easily corrupted? What had driven Brood and others to madness? And most importantly, could Sprunki be saved, or was it doomed to remain a wasteland of despair? As the survivors embarked on their quest for answers, Gray grappled with his own inner turmoil. His trust in others had been shaken to the core, and the memory of Wenda's betrayal haunted him. Yet, despite the overwhelming darkness, a flicker of hope remained. Maybe, just maybe, the bond they had once shared wasn't entirely lost. If Gray could confront the forces that had twisted Wenda's soul, perhaps he could save her, and Sprunki, from total annihilation. But time was running out, and the darkness that had consumed the town was spreading. Would Gray and his new companions uncover the truth before it was too late? Or was Sprunki and all who remained doomed to fade into the shadows forever? I would like to add that this theory has been well received by many, as they found in it reflections of their own thoughts. While we may still be unaware of many things, we are gradually getting closer to something, slowly uncovering the mysteries of this fascinating and immersive game. The game is filled with numerous references and Easter eggs. For example, there is a tree that looks completely normal in the standard version, but in the horror version, there's a drawing of a missing girl. It's still unclear who she is or why she disappeared. Some speculate that Black may be involved, but I can't be certain of that. In addition to this, many players have started noticing other cryptic elements that point towards a deeper underlying narrative. For instance, hidden messages appear in the background of certain scenes if you look closely enough, and certain locations seem to have been designed with specific symbols that might be tied to a larger mystery within the game's universe. There are also several recurring characters whose behavior and dialogue seem to hint at something more sinister lurking beneath the surface, giving rise to more fan theories. Some believe that the developers have purposefully left these clues to encourage players to work together and piece the puzzle together. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below, and I believe that together we will unravel all the secrets and mysteries hidden within this game. I am confident that with enough collective effort, we'll be able to understand its full narrative scope and find answers to the lingering questions that have kept us all intrigued. As I mentioned before, in future theories, we will take a closer look at the remaining characters and piece together what might have happened. We will analyze their actions, behavior, and hidden stories to create a logical conclusion about the events that transpired. This will bring us even closer to understanding the true nature of the game's universe and perhaps uncover what the creators have intended for us to discover all along. In addition, there are various symbols, hidden messages, and interactions that still need to be explored. The more we dive into the lore, the more we realize just how intricate and interconnected everything is. Each seemingly insignificant detail may hold the key to solving a larger puzzle. Many players believe that the music, the atmosphere, and even the sound effects have deeper meanings that align with the unfolding story. Every new discovery brings us closer to understanding the bigger picture. So if you're passionate about exploring these hidden elements, don't hesitate to join the conversation. For now, that's all I have to say, but make sure to support this video with likes, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. The more people involved, the faster we can unravel all the secrets together. Stay tuned for future videos as we delve even deeper into this game's secrets and characters.